If we are embarking upon a journey of healing, and if we're a facilitator working with that person, it's often quite useful to consider the human body as a test tube, because it's easy to understand if we were in the chemistry laboratory that we would want to know the conditions in the test tube, because we would know that that would influence so much the outcome of the experiment. And actually, it's really no different in the human body. Because shall we take, for example, suggesting to somebody that they take magnesium? This seems a very simple, straightforward, perhaps solution, as it's thought, to certain issues. But let's look at those test tube conditions that can influence how well it's going to be used, if it's going to be absorbed and utilized in the correct places. Hydration would be the first place to look, because the more dehydrated a person, the more stressed they are. The hydration levels would influence the pH. How acidic is this person? Are they able to alkalize foods that they're eating? Temperature. This is really looking at the whole metabolic rate of a person. And we know that if you raise the temperature of the body by 1%, you increase the metabolism by as much as 10%. And we're seeing these days that our body temperature is lower. It's said to be 1 degree lower than it was in the 1950s. And there has to be an explanation, but of course it's the situation in what I'm calling the test tube. Then we have to have a sufficient amount of light. Each day during daytime, we have to be able to have the light and it to be stored in the human body, and then that to attract the oxygen. So what those conditions are like in the test tube or in our body is initially going to influence the way we utilize our foods, our minerals and our vitamins. So tremendously important to be aware of this, because in actual fact, the way we live our life, the way we nurture ourselves and the way we feed ourselves are all the things that decide those conditions in the test tube before we start the facilitation work of changing the health.